Hello, dear community. Today is Tuesday, January the 26th, 2021. And while I read a lot on the Markle versus Markle, or Meghan Markle suing the Mail on Sunday for a summary judgment, there was so much going on, and I read so much of what occurred on each side. And I'm still wondering if the judge even can make a decision, or if he does, I think that it might be unfavorable for Meghan, because I think that there's more things that have come out, more truths that have been revealed that actually make it more complicated. So I can't see how he could side with Meghan, but the ruling should be coming out sometime the beginning of February, so maybe a little over a week from now. But let's go ahead and get on with the show. Hope everybody's doing well. Full disclaimer is located in the description below. This is for entertainment only, and I thank you for watching. Guys, it's getting a pretty severe thunderstorm where I am at the moment. My dogs, even though I've given them one of their little natural tablets for stress and anxiety, they tend to get a little bit afraid if they hear thunder and lightning. So if they do start barking, I'm going to go ahead and apologize now. And I'm going to try to do it while it seems to have settled down just a little bit. So let's go ahead and see what we've got here. All right. So we'll talk about a few different things, and then we'll get on with the trial. Thanks, Rock Do, for sending this to me from the Express. Royal Family Live. Harry breaks silence on Capitol riots. Branding it violent extremism. Oh, I apologize. Thought we were just having a little power outage there for a moment. It just flickered a few times. Prince Harry has spoken out about the Capitol riots, which saw thousands of and it's not his supporters, but we'll just say patriots and other people that appeared somewhere 2 weeks ago. And then there were some from different parties who were not there to be nice. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that story. I'm just going to say that Prince Harry, just because he's been living in the U.S. for, a little over 9 months now, maybe 10, I don't care what he has to say about that. And we know how he thinks, and we know how he hates social media right now and thinks it's not a good thing to be on. And, of course, they say they're not on it, but they send press releases to numerous periodicals, magazines, newspapers, almost on a daily basis. So, sorry, Harry, that's still social media. But let's go ahead and go to yours before I get off on a tangent. So we know that royal reporter Angela and biographer Angela Levin suggested that the Queen is actually relieved and delighted at the plans of both Prince William and Harry to modernize the monarchy, while also suggesting Harry is grieving for his family in the U.S. and claiming that the move has not worked as well for him as it has for Meghan Markle. I don't think this is coming from the Queen, and I don't think that, I think this is more Meghan stuff. And it said, speaking to the Fast Company website, Harry stressed the importance of reforms to laws governing social media, adding, we have seen time and time again what happens when the real world cost of misinformation is disregarded. There is no way to downplay this. Well, let me just, I'm not trying not to go there. I'm trying not to go into politics. I'm not going to do it. But we know which side that he supports, and we know that they're all about putting out their narrative, and everything else is disinformation. So I'm not going to go there. I'm going to stay very calm. So anyway, she just goes on to say that Mel Plus Palace Confidential, I think that she would be relieved and delighted because the monarchy for her is an essential part of her life, and she wants to see that it is solid and that it will move on, and there will be heirs and another heir and another heir. I just don't believe this comes from the Queen. I don't believe it at all. I think they're just saying what they think that the Queen would believe. And if it doesn't come from the palace, then to me it didn't come from the Queen. So, Prince Harry, royal title, expert explains how a tragic event could force Harry to be king. This is another puff piece. This is just somebody making up a total, hypothetical. Yes, we know if people die who are in the line of succession, then it falls to the one beneath them or the one beneath them or the next one in line that is living. It's okay, baby. It's okay. Come here. Come here. I'm so sorry. So, anyway, so let's go on. And I don't think that would happen. And I think, God forbid, if something were to happen and they think that if something were to happen to William, it's still going to go to his firstborn son, Prince George. It doesn't matter how old he is. His mother could be listed as regent or his grandfather or whoever else is still alive, and doesn't mean it would go to him. That almost sounds like that they're hoping that, that something would happen to them and that this could be. This is almost like sycophants of Harry's. So thanks, Rock Dude, for that. Now, let's go on to the trial. I just wanted to get through those few pieces. So the UK, and again, I went through everything, read it, started putting it together 2 or 3 times. There was so much information. It was just, I thought, this video is going to be hours, or I'm going to have to do it in multiple parts, and you're going to be bored to death. So I thought that the U.S. News report put it together in such a way that it was much more simplified than I could have done. So, Meghan seeks lawsuit win without trial after triple-barreled assault on her privacy by Michael Holden. All right. So it says, a tabloid's publication of a deeply personal letter written by Meghan's British Duchess of Sussex to her father was a plain breach of privacy, her lawyers told a court on Tuesday, and said that the judge would rule in her favor without need of a trial. Okay. Just cross that out because we know who Meghan is. At the start of the 2 days of remote hearings, Meghan lawyer Justin Rushbrook asked a London High Court judge to issue a summary judgment without a potentially embarrassing trial. Yeah, we know who the trial would be embarrassing for. It would be for Meghan, because each time more testimony is accepted from witnesses, we see that Meghan has to change her statement or affidavit a little bit more. So, the Mail on Sunday, he argued, had no prospect of winning what is called a plain and serious breach of privacy. And there was no viable defense. Meghan says publishing some of the 5-page letter, which ran to 1,250 words, was a misuse private information and breached her copyright. Well, we don't think that that's the case, but we know that several staff members, include one of her press secretaries that worked for her when she was still in the UK, as in her position before she left the royal family, had helped her to write it. We know that she shared it with 5 friends. Originally, she said she didn't share it with the first. Then she's later recently had to go back and change that statement. And then after Thomas Markle got the letter, he was very hurt and embarrassed by it. But even 6 months later, he had not done anything. So Meghan has her friends, allegedly, go to People magazine, and it says 5 friends break their silence on Meghan. So they talk about parts of the letter, which she had to have given to them because they're not psychic. They didn't know what she wrote. And then she had so many other people look at it. It said she had her mom look at it, her attorney, Harry. And then we know members of the staff and members that were on her team and her friends. So many people looked at it. I don't know how it could be a breach of privacy, especially when she provided it to them and they were able to give it to People magazine. It was only after that was published in People's, and she had waited 6 months and it wasn't getting out there, and she had written it in a way even admittedly by Omid Scobie that she wanted the public to feel sorry for her. She wanted to get her side out. So it was only after that that her dad went to the Mail on Sunday, and then Mr. Markle shared parts of the letter, not all, because he said it was so hurtful and just so malicious. But anyway, let's go back. Rushbrook, her attorney, told the court Megan's intrinsically private, personal, and sensitive letter has been a plea to her father to stop talking to the press. Yeah. And she talks to them daily, right? I ask for nothing other than peace, and I wish the same for you. Its concluding sentence read out by Rushbrook said, I didn't see that part of the letter. I know we only saw parts of it. But good Lord, does she really think that we believe this? It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So this was written, I guess, right after the wedding. So, Code of Conduct. The paper published extracts in February the following year and has justified its action by saying it allowed Markle to respond to interviews Meghan's anonymous friends had given to the U.S. magazine called People. It was a total lie. It misrepresented the tone and content of the letter that Meg had written to me, said Mr. Markle, that he wrote in his witness statement made public on Tuesday, in which he said Meghan had either expressly authorized the People interviews or approved of them. It was only by publishing the text of the letter that I could properly set the record straight and show that what People magazine had published was false or unfair. So he's even saying that the letter that he gave, or that she gave to People magazine allegedly, was even parts of a letter that were that she did not forward on to her father. That maybe it was some of the drafted and redrafted parts, but that she included content that was not sent to her father but was sent to People magazine. So that's what he's saying there. Meghan's lawyers told the court that publishing it was a triple-barrel assault on her private life, her family life, and her correspondence. Rushbrook said the Mail on Sunday had broken the code of conduct British newspapers worked by, and the case raised a disturbing question about who controlled the contents of a private letter. It is the writer of the letter or the editor of the Mail on Sunday. Rushbrook said, there can only be one answer to the question, and the answer should be the same irrespective of whether the writer was a duchess or other citizen. And the answer is, it is not the editor of the Mail on Sunday. Of course, that's their side of it. Inconsistent statements. Because I believe if she put it out there, then the Mail on Sunday had just as much right to put it out there as well. She breached her own privacy by publishing it with People. And it's also, she did in the book Finding Freedom, but that hasn't been called in yet. But there's all these parts in Finding Freedom that she's talking about the letter. And we'll listen to a video from Omid where he openly admits to Good Morning America in America. So in its written defense, the paper said the Duchess was willing for private matters to become public if it suited her, saying she had cooperated with biography of the couple and there were inconsistent statements she needed to explain. Its lawyers added Meghan had expected or intended the letter to become public, and any expectation of privacy would have been outweighed by the paper's rights to freedom of expression, which I totally agree. There is uncertainty as to the number of significant factual matters which can and should be investigated at trial when the court would have its full picture, the paper's legal team said. So I believe so too. I think that the judge, according to the evidence so far, should say, I can't give let you win a summary judgment. Therefore, I would find against you, or in this case, we need to go to a full trial so that all the evidence can come out, and then he can then make a decision based on all the facts and according to the law. There is uncertainty as to the number of significant factual matters which can and should be investigated at trial when the court will have the full picture. So the trial was due to start last week, but we know that it was delayed until 2021. And that Meghan was supposed to be here in January of this year, but months ago she went back and got permission from the court to delay it until the autumn of 2021. And then we all heard the piece that came out that said that, what had happened to her, that she had had an unfortunate miscarriage. Her team also announced that at the time they would seek a summary judgment. So Meghan didn't want to have to come to court. She wanted to be able to do it over Zoom or just by the affidavits that she had previously had and the evidence that had been presented, and didn't want these witnesses to actually have to appear. She wanted to keep everything as quiet as possible and thought they would just rule in her favor. So if it does go ahead, it raises the prospect of Markle giving evidence in court against his daughter, who has not seen him since they fell out, as well as appearances by the Duchess herself and other senior royal aides. So they would have to come in, I guess, testify in person. So again, we'll know in a little over a week what's going to happen with that. She and Harry now live in LA. We know all that. So it says that having stepped down from their royal duties, reporting by Michael Holden, editing by William James, Alex Richardson, and Alexandra Hudson. Full credit to all of them for being able to put this in terms that we could understand exactly where it is, and just without going through all of the 2 days worth of evidence. And then I think they had actually allotted 3 days, and there was mention that he could call them back in for one more day just to get some more evidence before making his final decision. So, Omid Scobie, and here, turn up the volume.
Relationship with her father, she knew in her heart of hearts that this was going to be released to the papers. Thomas has a record of this. This is exactly the man that she knows. And so many of those things in that letter were written with the public in mind. She very much wanted to set the record straight.
And what does Omid tell us there? He tells us that Meghan wrote the letter in such a way that she had intended or expected it to be published because she felt like her father has showed a pattern of that, and she thought he would be the one to expose it. So she intentionally wrote the letter knowing that it would be viewed, or thinking her father would publish it for money. And that there it goes right there. Omid blew it for her. He told her that. And then if he has to testify, it will be in contradiction to what Meghan has told the court. So here's something else. I know we'd been talking about Samantha Markle's book, which was supposed to come out 17th or 18th of this month. And then it was pushed back to sometime in February after the 1st. But I wanted to let you know what I'd been telling you is I've bought all these other books and I've read them. And I feel that she's not going to expose anything. Where Lady C gave us tidbits of information, it was very sugar-coated. I guess you do have to very much worry about lawsuits. And then we saw the Finding Freedom, which was a hagiography. And then we saw Robert Lacey's book was basically one-sided, where he took the side of Harry and Meghan. And then I didn't feel that because I kept looking for information or an interview about what was in the book other than what Samantha had written. And I thought, if she's doing that, she's definitely not going to disclose any information about Meghan, and is probably fearful. So I was looking and saw that this was just published on ET Canada, and it was an interview between them and Samantha. And guess what Samantha says about her book due to be released next month? Contrary to troll gossip and I can't see. I'm sorry. There's a light shining through it. So contrary to troll gossip and news rumors, my book has never been designed to attack my sister. It is relatable. There is a lot to learn, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I have been very forthcoming that I was never writing in a hardbound tabloid. I said that 2 years ago, but nobody wanted to believe it. So what she's saying is, even though that she's been out there, that she's been saying for 2 years that she was never going to write a book that disparages anything about her sister. So I feel like she's gone back and forth. And I can't imagine why we wouldn't want to read it if it's just about her family and she doesn't disclose any of this. So I don't imagine her book sales will be too good. I'll wait until I see actual reviews from it before I buy it. But according to this, there's no reason for me to buy it. It would be just a waste of money, and she's just trying to possibly cash in. Not that she doesn't need it, or not that she doesn't have the right. God bless her, all for that. You know, she can do whatever she wants. I know that she suffers from MS, and I'm sure has a tough time of things. So she's certainly entitled to do whatever she wants. I have nothing negative to say about her, except that I don't think the book is going to be something we'd be interested in. And this is based on her own statement. So I just wanted to share that with you. So now going on to a few other things, and I won't go on this very long. The royal family, Queen facing significant monarchy crisis over Charles, tenants revolt. So I guess with everything that's been going on, that and let's see, there's been a reform. The government is to give leaseholders in England new rights, but there's exemptions for the Queen and Prince Charles could spark upset, according to royal experts. The three crucial royal estates are expected to be exempted from a reform which will see leaseholders in England given the right to extend their leases for up to 990 years without paying any ground rent. So the exemption, however, could usually upset tenants in three areas linked to the royal family, which would be the Crown Estate, the Duchy of Lancaster, and the Duchy of Cornwall, who may continue to face rising rents. So I guess they're saying that, you know, these other areas, people have decided, to extend their leases or reduce the rent or not raise it, and then that Prince Charles has not. So I think people feel like because of the virus and last year with financial difficulties and so many other things that happened with people, that that it would just be a shame if he was exempted from this. And it says the real problem with the new legislation is it doesn't apply to Scilly Isles, where the major landowner is Prince Charles, the Duchy of Cornwall. In the last 10 years or so, there have been many complaints about the tenants saying that the rents are way too high. So maybe what we're doing is, since I didn't really focus on this as much, although I've followed the royal family for years and most of my adult life, that, maybe some of this is coming out more because, Meghan and Harry are in the news, but it doesn't make the royal family look very, very nice, does it? Anyway, it says it should be remembered that last year the Duchy of Cornwall made £22 million in profit, which all goes to Prince Charles, and in the past 20 years the profits have gone up by almost 10 million. So put crudely, the Duchy of Cornwall is Prince Charles' cash cow. Some tenants in this Scilly Isles say that the Duchy of Cornwall is doing this purely to make money. So Mr. McClure added these exemptions are unlikely to be challenged in the Houses of Parliament, saying any legislation affecting the Queen cannot be criticized in the House of Commons. So that's kind of a sad thing for people that are going through that. But I want to thank you all for watching. And not a lot has been going on, just these other pieces that you can tell are going out by Harry and Meghan, where they're flip-flopping the narrative. So, but I did want to kind of catch you up on this, and this was just a much easier way to explain it through the article. So take care, and I'll see you in the next video, and I hope everybody's doing well. Don't forget, when you leave a comment, they are posted. They're posted on a slight delay, but they will show up. I love reading the comments, so if you like the video, give me a thumbs up so you can kind of keep me going on here. If you know of someone who might like this, please think of sharing my video with them. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will. So thank you all so much, and have a blessed day. I'll see you soon.